SGA and the process this year for joining for next year. You can watch this video and or come to the information meetings in my classroom, room 219, at 8 o'clock a.m. on February 17th or 18th. SGA is in charge of things that are for the whole school. So the homecoming dance and the Sadie's dance are both open to all students in grades 9 through 12. We also do community service like drives and fundraisers that are school-wide, anything the administrators ask us to do, and we develop leadership and collaboration skills. Really fun time of year for SGA. We pick the theme and pick all the dress-up days. SGA is over the homecoming court, so that's really fun to be part of that. And then for all the dances that we do, which are homecoming and Sadie's, we are the ones who plan them, set them up, clean them up. And then anything else associated with homecoming, SGA is also in charge of, like the Powder Puff game. For Sadie's, we pick the spirit days and the theme for the dance, get everything set up for it. And then another part of SGA is creating flyers and banners and posters and different things to advertise for all of our activities. We also do lots of community service. In school, we do 2 events for the life skills students, the life skills trick or treat and the life skills prom, and then anything that the administrators ask us to do, like make videos. So like this year, we made videos for course selection. And then sometimes we work more locally or at the state or nationwide level, like the breast cancer coin drive that we do each year. We do so many other things. Sometimes we sell spirit items. We're always collaborating with other clubs and groups. We recognize students and teachers. Like, for example, SGA is in charge of selecting the JAG of the week, so you would be part of that too. We're usually pretty involved with the pep rallies and different drives and fundraisers. And we're always looking to promote positive school culture wherever we can. SGA could be great for you. You'll have the opportunity to practice your leadership skills. You'll be serving Spoon Park and opening up doors to things that you didn't know were possible. Also, you get to know and work with people that you might not otherwise have. I've seen year after year people becoming friends that just I never thought would be. They enjoy each other, they have the same goals, they find that they share a lot of values, and they develop these wonderful bonds. Okay, so how do you become an SGA member? Well, we sort of have 2 different pathways. You can be an officer or a grade level representative. To be an officer, that's like president, vice president, etc., you have to have at least a 3.0 GPA. We do teacher evaluations. You have to get good teacher evaluations. And if you want to be the president, you have to be currently a member of SGA. But otherwise, anyone is open to run for any of the other officer positions. And then to be an officer, you have to take the SGA class. You will get replaced if you can't take it. And then the grade level reps have to have at least a 2.5, but of course they must have positive teacher evals, and they are invited to take the SGA class, but it is not required to be an SGA member. For both officers and grade level reps, and it's not written on here, but you also have to have administrative approval. So when you apply, we just check with administration that everything is cool for you to be part of SGA if you make it. So to apply, you're going to turn in the election packet. There's a link on here, or you can go pick one up outside of my classroom. It's also on Google Classroom, so you can download it there and print it out. But they are due no later than Friday, February 27th by 3:45 p.m. So that is a very hard deadline. I have turned people away before who were trying to turn it in late. Like, I just can't have people who turn stuff in late in SGA. So as soon as the campaign week starts, you can campaign on your social media, and you can put up posters and stuff in the hallway, and everyone has to turn in a slide to be put on the JAG stand, and there'll be directions for that in the election packet. And you have to have a positive campaign. So there's a couple of rules that we'll go over in a little bit, but Everything must be positive. I will take you off the ballot if you are not following the rules. And then if you run for officer, you have to hang 3 posters. And if you're running for rep, you don't have to put up posters. So you don't have to campaign on social media, but you can if you follow the rules, which I'll go over. Just so you can see, these are the offices that you can run for if you want to be an officer: president, vice president, treasurer, historian, secretary, communications chair. That's the person who does the social media, or chaplain, and that's the person who does the pledge every day. These people must take the SGA class. They must hang 3 posters. They must make a slide for the JAGS Den. They can post on their social media. Okay, for grade level reps, I take anywhere from 8 to 12 sophomores, juniors, and seniors. And you have to be participating even if you're not in the SGA class. There's all kinds of ways to do that. Like I keep track online, and it works out really well. And I'd love you to take the SGA class, but you do not have to participate in SGA. So if you think you have something to add to SGA, if you really love Spain Park and want to be involved in what's going on, we would love to have you. If you have any questions, please come by and ask me. We are really proud of what we do, and we'd love to have you be part of it. To apply for SGA, you're going to need to pick up the packet that's outside of my classroom, 219, or you can download it from the JAGS Den or from the grade level Google Classrooms. So this is what it looks like. It has a lot of the same information we've already gone over, so I'm just going to point out a few things as we go. It's required to either watch this video or to come to a morning meeting on February 17th or 18th at 8 a.m. This packet is due February 27th. We will campaign the week of March 9th, and then election day is Friday, March 13th. When you scroll down on that page, you'll see these requirements, which we've already discussed. So I'm not going to get into it too much, but the only thing that we didn't talk about yet is that if you are running for office, there is an interview process. You will have to sit down with this year's senior SGA members, and they'll ask you some questions about your ideas and like why you would be good in that position. If you go to the back, you'll see that the requirements are sort of written out again in even more detail. The packet is due Friday. As far as your actual campaign, the officers will have to put up 3 posters, and your posters have to be in good taste. You can't do anything negative or offensive. Everyone does have the option to use social media as like a platform for their campaigns, but that's not required. And I am not like policing it in any way unless someone like takes a screenshot and shows me. At that point, I can use that to take you off the ballot. So please keep that in mind. The biggest rule that I want to make sure is very clear is that you cannot mention other students in your campaign. If you are running for officer or for representative, you cannot say, vote for so-and-so. Like you can't do a buddy campaign like Danelle for president and Julia for vice president. You cannot do that in your campaign materials. I mean, you can say things like that if you want to, but you cannot do that in your actual printed materials. Also, you're not going to mention how someone else is good or bad. Okay, so don't say don't vote for so-and-so. You're just not going to say anyone else's name during this campaign. It's really important. Okay, however, if you are running for rep, you can like repost people's, I will let y'all like repost people's campaigns on your, like you can put them in your story or something. You just can't say vote for them. Like you can't put that on your campaign materials, if that makes sense. Okay. Although posting on social media, again, it's not required. And then the reps do not have to put up posters. But everyone does have to do a slide on the JAGS Den, and in just a minute I'm going to go over what that looks like. You should not be... Oh, I'm not done there yet. If you don't follow these guidelines and it's a problem and people are like reporting you to me, I'm going to remove you from the ballot and you will not be part of SGA. And you shouldn't be spending more than $30 on your campaign because, like, we're not making buttons, or you cannot give out candy or flyers or anything that lights up. Like, you can make some posters and you can post on the Jags Den. We'll make your slide for the Jags Den and you can post on your social media, and that's it. So if you're doing something outside of those 3 venues, like, you have to talk to me about it. Okay. Oh, no, I said no buttons. No buttons. Okay. So there is a link on the digital form of the packet that takes you to the directions for what your required Jags Den slide has to look like. And so I'm not going to read all of these to you, but I just want to make sure that you do put on there, like, what makes you a good candidate for the position. That's an area that I find people forget or just don't include. You can put a picture, but you don't have to. But if your picture is not in dress code, then I'm going to send it back to you and say, I'm not posting this. So you have to be in dress code, or you can be in some kind of school uniform. I'm very strict about those rules. You can't put any links outside your presentation, and you cannot mention your social media on your slide either. Okay, and then on the next page, you'll see this timeline, everything from the information meetings to when the packet's due. Your slide for the Jags Den is due by March 4th, but you can go ahead and send that to me anytime. I'll be building it as y'all send them in. March 9th through 13th, that's when the campaigns are. So if you are putting up posters, those have to go up on Monday, March 9th, and then come down on the 13th. And then election day will be on March 13th. That's a Friday. And then on Monday, when we come back from school, I will announce who the members of SGA are for next year. And then you'll find a checklist. It's got everything you'll need to do, so make sure to follow this. All right. Then you will see all of the different positions that are available. You'll need to read these carefully to see what's good for you to run for. I will say that for president, you can only run if you were an SGA as a junior, but all of the other offices are open to anyone, whether you've been an SGA or not. You just have to be going into 10th, 11th, or 12th grade. And then again, all of those people 1 through 7 have to take the SGA class, or they will be removed they won't be actually the one doing the office that year. Somebody else will do that for them. They won't be able to use that on their resume. And then the grade level reps do not have to take the SGA class, but I really want you to do it. It's super fun. You get the most out of SGA by being in the class. So I hope you will really consider to do it. The chaplain is the person who says the pledge every day. So if you are going to run for that, that's a very, very, very big commitment. I need you to be very sure that you can make that happen. And then the other one that has a huge commitment is the communications chair. That is the person who runs our SGA account. And the president, talk to Bailey Causey and ask her how much time she spends doing SGA. Okay, it's a lot. This is what the actual form looks like that you're going to turn in. Make sure that you put your name on it. I have students who turn this in without their name on it all the time. For the extracurriculars part, just list some stuff that you do. Don't forget to check what you're running for and read the disclaimers, initial if you're running for office, to make sure we understand all you have to do, because there is also that interview thing that we talked about that I will get y'all scheduled for once I get your applications turned in. Then you'll write your teachers that you currently have this year. Just write their names and I will email them the recommendation form. You won't have to do anything at that point. But if that teacher is an RC3 teacher, please let me know so that there's like a different email thing that I need to do for them. And then make sure to sign it and make sure your parents sign it. Your parent needs to sign the front and the back. And then there's also a back. So turn it over. Okay, this is the back. This is that contract that I mentioned earlier, and this is super important to me. SGA has a very good reputation, and it's because you guys are wonderful, but it's also because I expect y'all to uphold the ethics and the social media protocol that I've spelled out here. So please read this very carefully, okay? Basically, you cannot get in trouble for drinking or smoking or vaping or doing drugs or doing anything illegal or anything that's considered a class 3. If you do, then you're out of SGA, okay, probably. There will be, we'll review it, and like it'll be a big conversation between us and administration, but we are not going to be part of that, okay? So any evidence of that, like, it's going to be a problem, and you will not get to stay in SGA. And then social media, as far as social media is concerned, like your main, your backup, your spam, okay, all has to be positive, okay? You are not going to stay in SGA if you post things that are inappropriate, or if you're harassing people or bullying people online, or making disparaging comments online, or using inappropriate profane language, or if you are lewd, okay? So if you have questions about what lewd means, you can Google it. Some of y'all's posts get a little close to lewd. Or anything indecent, okay? You cannot post these things. Do not receive these things. Do not send these things around. You could get into trouble. There's that. But like, you also could be removed from your position in SGA. Okay. You represent SGA. You represent Spain Park. You represent your family. You represent our community. Okay. I just think it's really important that whatever you put online, it has the message that I expect for SGA. So hopefully those other things matter to you as well. But for me, for this, that's what we're looking for. And then for both of these things together, I think this is going to help you to make healthy decisions for yourself, help you to stay out of trouble, and help you not to close doors for your future. So I care about you as people too. All right, so make sure you check whether you watched this video or came to a meeting. You sign it, your parent signs it. Tell me again what you're running for on the back. And that's it. Make sure you get it turned into me by February 27th. It's going in the little pocket thing outside of my door, which is room 219 by 3:45 p.m.